for Prime. If you had asked me before Sunday, does Cal have any chance of even putting a dent in SoulKey, I would have said no. But with the performance we saw from him against Hero and all the fan momentum he's got behind him right now, I think if Prime is going to take a match, it's going to be this one. And Cal has to prove himself again. Look at his record in StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 put together, 161 and 134, 1-0 currently this season.
Yeah, like you said, he really has the backing of the fans, and you could even hear it. Like, SKT1 has been getting such huge cheers the entire day today. But when Cal came out and he came out on camera, everybody in the audience was like, oh yes, we're having Cal play today, yes. Everybody cheered. And like you said, he has that backing out of the fans. And I said this before the match has even started, I think this might be Prime's best chance here.
Yeah, I really think it is their best chance to win today in these two matches, or rather in the second match. If you look at the rest of the players, I mean, maybe Creator can win the PvP, but with all the momentum that Cal has on his shoulders, I think if he stays confident here, just like we saw him against Liquid Hero just a few days ago, this could be the one. This could be the one player to take a point here and maybe even get Creator that momentum, just like he did last time, to take multiple wins today against SKT.
I mean, if there's anything that's against Prime, it's just, you know, Cal has the support of the fans, but everybody is expecting Prime to go down here. There's even a sign in the audience that was like 3-0 go out of SKT. Like, again, it was like, oh no, go, like, again today.
Yeah.
Are we going to have a 3-0 out of SKT Telecom, or SK Telecom T1? And I don't know. I think we could see it. It's up to Cal.
Yeah, it is. And because Creator is a player who often has nerve issues. We saw him play really aggressive, cheesy strategies last time they played, which is something you don't expect from Creator. He felt confident then, but he lost his last match. He's going off of a one-loss streak right now. If Cal wins it and then brings that momentum back to the team, maybe Creator can do it, because Terror versus Parting is not looking good, matchup-wise, statistically-wise. So this is a really, really important match. I'm personally feeling if Cal does not win this match, we're going to see our second 3-0 for SK Telecom T1. That's my opinion on this.
This is the turning point. Like you said, Creator needs that boost from Cal to do this. He's like the big guy. He's the young. He's the guy that everybody on Prime looks up to, I'm sure. He has the most experience on the team. He's newly back from the Army. He's older than most of the players on Prime, if not the oldest. And Creator is looking to him to win this game. And if he doesn't, Creator's going to be really crushed. Even before playing, he's going to be like, oh, now I got to go against Rain in a PvP.
And also, it's all up to him then. If it's a 2-0 and then Creator's the final player, we're looking at, uh-oh, this is a big problem. This is a serious problem here.
We have a serious problem.
We have a serious problem on our hands here. I'm actually a player who gets nervous sometimes, and it's all up to me to take that third win. We saw him do it against a Protoss player with a Cannon Rush, and it was a really, really well played build on Sunday. But I really feel like Cal can get the momentum to Prime right now if he takes this match. When unfortunately for him, he's playing against SoulKey, one of the best Zerg versus Protoss in the world. Some people are saying he is the best Zerg versus Protoss in the world.
The Protoss killer, like you mentioned before, even on this map for the games we played for ZVT, it is going 2-1 for Zerg so far. Or not ZVT, ZVP. And we're about to have that again right here.
Yep. So let's jump into our second match of the day here for Prime. Up against SK Telecom T1. It's SoulKey versus Cal. Let's get into the game.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Tons of fightings coming from the fan for various things. Of course, also SK Telecom and Prime. Here we have the red Zerg in the bottom right. This is SoulKey.
SoulKey, the clear favorite here, but not necessarily the fan favorite in this studio. He's up against Cal, who's got the fans from the old days, the old Pro League days of Starcraft 1, of Brood War, here cheering for him today. A lot of them. And he is going the way of Creator. How does this keep happening, Brendan?
Well, they are on the same team. This could be the same situation where he's like, okay, I know SoulKey is basically the best CGP player in the world right now. What am I going to do? I'm going to cheese because I don't have the actual confidence to face him in a straight-up game.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying by doing this build. We saw it before with the Zergling all in against the SOS. We're going to see it again here. Cal is going for a proxy.
And his proxy is much safer than the one that we saw from Creator. He puts it in a location that's much less likely to be scouted. But the trade-off to this is that it's much further away. So if we don't see a greedy hatchery opening, then this is likely going to do nothing. So he has to hope that his opponent goes hatchery first. If SoulKey is crazy enough, and we have seen SoulKey do this a lot, to go double hatchery before pool, that is the best case scenario. So it is going to be hatchery first. This is exactly what he's hoping for. Oh, wow! He goes Forge and Gateway, so he's going to use the Zealots to force his way in with cannons. This is what Cal does.
This is what Cal does. He's sending that probe in right now. Looks pretty innocent for now, but not for long. He's coming in, just getting a quick shout. Sees no pool. He is thanking whatever god he prays to, and he's coming back out, building that Zealot. Probably going to start throwing down some pylons as well. The pool finally goes down for SoulKey, but is it in time?
Well, that's the question, man. He's not going double hatch before pool. He has no scouting information of this whatsoever. And this is the build that we've seen players do extremely rarely. And it was something that you could see in Starcraft1 where you just use your Zealots to actually protect the cannons. And I think that now SoulKey starts to realize what he's up against. The cannon is placed in such a great spot here where it's hard for the drones to get a full surface around him. He actually pulls all of the drones here. I don't think he's got, well, he certainly can't defend it now. He's going to actually have to cancel his hatchery.
Yeah, he's going to have to cancel his hatchery. 2 cannons right now going up with the Zealot for protection, building another Zealot in the back.
He's going to start harassing the mineral line here. No Zerlings out just yet because the pool isn't done. We've got 2 Zealots now going into the main base, and there's not a whole lot of drones here that that he can use to defend until he surrounds. Now he's got a good spot, and that was a bit of a mistake there by Cal.
Yeah, very, very nice surround by SoulKey, but getting that Zealot surround, he actually gets it out by killing one of the drones to get there. Bit of a misstep there, but it finally does go down. 8 Zerlings coming out. But will it be able to take this down? It's 2 cannons as well as 2 Zealots.
I can't believe SoulKey just lost an Overlord to that cannon.
Yeah.
What a huge mistake. That's actually going to cost him not only the minerals to the Overlord, but a lot of production. And now what Cal can do is start to produce Stalkers, and he can contain with these Zealots on the ramp, and then, of course, later on with the Stalkers on the low ground and maybe even Sentries coming out of the forward gateway. It's going to take a little while before that Queen and the Spine Claw are ready to do damage. The Queen's going to go ahead and start poking. And the wall with the Zealots is something you can't really do in StarCraft2.
And is this drone going to do what I think he's going to do? Is he actually going to make a hatchery here
and
start?
So. No, he decides. Oh. Okay, I think he's going to do it. He's trying to drone up a lot at home first. He knows that getting out of his base is going to be a challenge with those 2 cannons, as well as potentially Stalkers to come and join the Zealots. And with those cannons there, you can't really break down the ramp. Oh, the probe scouts! Cal scouts! Are we going to have a crazy upset here, Brennan? Is Cal going to take out SoulKey? Right now, he's very ahead here.
That was such mindfulness out of Cal, actually spotting that. I don't know if he knew that the drone got out of the base, but he was being very meticulous there, making sure that nothing as crazy as that could happen. And now SoulKey's only hope is getting out of his base as quickly as possible. Like you said, the Stalkers are going to follow up soon enough. He's going to Warp Gate research as well.
And what we could see from okay, so I was going to say what we could see is a Stargate come out. Another thing that we could see is, well, it's a bit too late now. I was going to say you could try to do a tight wall. Unfortunately, though, with the Spine Crawler placed that far forward to creep this quickly, it's not going to happen. And the Spine Crawler would have been able to hit the wall anyways, no matter what. So tight wall not really possible. Mothership Core is on the way now, too. Is it really safe to make a Nexus right now? I don't think so. He's got enough resources to do it. I don't think that's going to be the plan, and no, it's not. 2 gateways going up back at home. Speed is not done. The Lings actually get through here.
Yeah, they get through, and by the time they get to the base, speed is going to be about done. And Cal's going to have to deal with this, making 3 more gateways and another pylon. He does have that Mothership Core over there.
Yeah, the Oracle is exactly what he wants here. The Oracle can be great used defensively, and then, of course, offensively later on, too. Or in the opposite of order of what I just described. These 2 cannons not able to stand up to the firepower with Transfuse coming down, and finally he will be able to start that hatchery. But there's a scary follow-up. If Cal just holds this flawlessly, which it looks like he's likely to do with good micro here, Oh, he needs to start micro. There's that Oracle coming out just in time. That's what I'm talking about. Defends with the Oracle. Now he's got a 3 gateway timing with Oracle support. And the 4th gateway, the Warp Gate Research wasn't the time to save it, but he can actually... Oh! He could actually bring another probe down to make another pylon there, and he could start warping in from this pylon itself to start attacking.
Yeah, and that would be very nice for him to do. He is sending a bunch of other units. He has the Oracle right here now. That's going to stop that harass. Makes it into a Warp Gate. He has a lot of Zerglings here, though. But a big warping now.
All he needs to do is make sure that he gets enough Zealots to deal with the Zerglings. Then he can start to be aggressive. And if he gets some Stalkers out to support those at the back, it's going to be a big, big problem. One thing I'd really like to see is either a tight wall at the top of the ramp here for Cal, or maybe even a cannon in the mineral line. He does lose power of this gateway.
Yeah, SoulKey making a good sacrifice there, losing a bunch of Zerglings, but he does take out the pylon just in time.
It also means no more forward warping point.
Yep.
Oracle does get 4 kills, as you were going to mention there. And the Roach Warren being out and no forward pylon means that Cal is actually going to have to go back home and transition. There's no way he can actually commit to an attack here. He's already forced a lot of Zerglings, which keeps the drone count quite low. You can use the Oracles and the Zealots to defend back at home, but trying to do an attack here is no longer a good idea.
And now, looking at SoulKey's position, he probably, well, he sees it now. He sees that the Nexus is coming up. At the same time, Cal is trying to come in here with the Oracles. He is able to cancel that. But what do you think SoulKey is going to try to do to try to transition out of this and actually take this game from Cal?
I think what we're probably going to see him do, I don't know about this, by the way. We're probably, well, you know what? With 2 Oracles here and the Spine Crawler's gone, this actually is a little bit more difficult to hold than I thought, especially because he doesn't have any Roaches out just yet. The first one trying to help out there on the ramp. And this is devastating. He's losing way too much here. Now he's on the ramp. He's going to get a good amount of surface area blocking with the ramp there, cleaning up the Zealots or the Zerglings as best he can. But what I would do if I were SoulKey is try to be aggressive and continually force cancels on that Nexus, because you have the production off the 2 hatcheries to do that if you're in this position as a Zerg.
Yeah, he is slowly getting the supplies back into normal, but you know, even though Cal has done a lot of damage with this harass, of course, with the cannons and the Zealots and then the Oracle follow-up, SoulKey has done a good job delaying that for as long as possible. He does have the 2 hatcheries up now. He's probably going to try to go for a 3rd sometime soon, and he, you know, it's not at normal right now. He still is a little bit far behind, but he's doing everything possible to try to get back in this game.
Yeah, the gateway here will finally fall, it looks like. Robotics is halfway done, and with that he can start to produce Immortals. And then we're going to kind of transition into a more normal game where players have to play the mid-game on the fly rather than like they would in a normal build order where they're just, you know, moving forward with their tags. This Oracle only at 10 points, so holds on with the shields, gets a few more kills, and gets away.
Very nicely micro there. Only left with 6 shields left, getting as many probes as he could before having to fly it away. Already 7 kills on that Oracle.
Zergling's not able to accomplish anything here. He's trying to drone up heavily. One thing I really wish we could see more of with our observers, actually the worker count, because I can't tell you guys exactly how many workers they have, but I suspect that's pretty low. There it is, 39 to 34, and that's after those drones were just added. So it's been pretty even when it comes to worker counts for quite some time, which is never what you want as a Zerg player. And that means those Zerglings are kind of useless overall.
Yep. After warding off the damage that Cal had done, they're kind of just now roaming around.
And what we could see from Cal is actually an Immortal push with all these sentries that have built up the energy, all the gateways is added, and I think that's what we're going to see. 2 gateways going down in the main base. I think he's just going to hit a timing because he has those sentries out. They built up a lot of energy. He's got the Immortals as well. And the worker count for SoulKey is quite low right now, so it's hard for him to get enough units out to defend this.
Yeah, and now if SoulKey has any inkling that this is coming, he has to make a decision. He has to make a bunch of units to try to stop this, but at the same time, he has to make drones. He now spots a push coming out. He knows something's coming out. He's going to start making a bunch of units to stop this, but this is already looking really, really scary for him. He doesn't even have his 3rd up yet.
Well, now that we saw the unit tab, I'd like to see a production tab. Let's see if my voice still has the power to bring that back, because I want to see if he's making a Warp Prism, because he doesn't have a forward pylon at all right now, meaning that, okay, the Warp Prism is on the unit tab. At least I can see that. He's starting to clear up creep, actually, with this Oracle, a nice little tool that he can use here. Still only with 7 hit points. But with no forward warping point, without that Warp Prism, he needs to be very careful with his first few units. Where are the forces going to be? They need to be really, really perfect here. There's the Warp Prism.
I mean, he has so many sentries here and so much energy that they can be perfect. He is moving a bit close here. He gets a decent force field here, but a ton of roaches here up front.
And the Zealots actually pick up those Zerglings so easily. The Zerglings actually, some of them not fighting until the last second. This is looking great for Cal right now. He continues to push through. A second wave of force fields could actually trap all of these roaches. The Immortals actually fighting uncontested on the left side here. And with those Warp and the Stalkers, Brandon, Cal can actually pull his second upset here in Pro League.
A bunch of units more coming out. The drones coming up. A nice force field to block those as well. He's even microing the Immortal very nicely here, getting a bunch more of these roaches. The Oracle doing as much damage as he can. 27 drones now. It's not looking at all good for SoulKey.
Definitely not. Dropping down to 51 supply here. The last of the Immortal is doing so much damage here. One Immortal falls, but it does not matter. And Cal takes the win. GG! This is the player I thought would maybe take a win today if anybody does. And this is so good for Prime and so good for Cal. He's won now 2 games. He's undefeated, pulling 2 upsets here. And this is the kind of momentum that Prime needs right now.
Cal, this guy just put the team on his back right now. He took a game out of the Protoss Destroyer SoulKey and just made it look pretty easy with that first engagement, that first aggression, transitioning into a super strong push. SoulKey looking really pissed right now, actually.
Basically, SoulKey is like a programmed robot that's designed to kill Protoss players, and he hasn't been patched yet to deal with Cal. The Cal bug is still a problem. When you're playing like we're seeing these Prime players do, where you do new and different strategies that most people aren't expecting, it seems like some of these Kespa players flop a little bit. Like we saw Cal play against Hero last time, going for a big Phoenix push timing where he tried to kill Hero by lifting up his sentries and going up the ramp. Something we've seen in the past, but it's very rare. And you catch a player off guard with that, and it's one of those things where if you're innovating, if you're playing unusual, you can definitely beat a player who's way favored over you. And I'm very impressed with Cal. His micro also very good the whole game.
That's what I wanted to mention, is micro the whole entire time. So good. And you have a player like this who has so much experience. He's played so many games. He understands this game so well, as the SoulKey, but he's able to just come up with these things and just understand how to take down the enemy opponent.